The JCAM is the mutually agreed upon interpretation of the contract between NLC and USPS in grievance handling. If a topic is addressed in the JCAM, management cannot dispute the interpretation. Article 1. Union recognition. Article 1 establishes the legal and contractual foundation of NLC as the exclusive collective bargaining unit for city delivery letter carriers. Section 1. Union recognition. Exclusive representation. The Postal Service recognizes NLC as the sole bargaining representative for all city letter carriers, including full-time, FT, part-time flexible, PTF, and city carrier assistance CCA. Applicability. Rights and terms granted in Article 1 extend fully to non-career CCA. Section 2. Exclusions. Bargaining unit limits specifically excludes managers, supervisors, personnel officers, and employees in other crafts, e.g., clerks, mail handlers, rural carriers, from being represented by NLC or covered under this specific agreement. Section 3. Facility exclusions. Applies to all currently existing postal facilities, as well as any new postal installations, facilities, or branches established during the term of the agreement that perform city delivery functions. Section 4. Definition of bargaining unit. Defines the craft strictly by work function, the transportation, delivery, and collection of mail on foot or by vehicle within designated city delivery boundaries. Section 5. New positions. If USPS creates a brand new job title or position description, it must notify the union. If the core duties are city delivery, the position automatically falls into the NLC bargaining unit. Disputes over new job classifications go straight to national level arbitration. Section 6. Performance of bargaining unit work by supervisors. This is one of the most heavily grieved sections in the contract. General prohibition. Supervisors, managers, and non-bargaining unit employees are strictly forbidden from performing bargaining unit, city carrier, work. The 4 explicit exceptions. Supervisors may only perform letter carrier work under 4 specific conditions. In an emergency, defined as an unforeseen circumstance or a combination of circumstances calling for immediate action, like a natural disaster or severe act of God. For the purpose of training or instructing employees. When the work is brief and necessary to avoid operational delays, provided no carrier is available. Where duties are specifically included in the supervisor's formal position description. Remedies. When supervisors perform carrier work outside these exceptions, Step B and arbitrators consistently award monetary remedy pay to the appropriate carrier, typically the ODL or a carrier who was available to perform the work. Now it's time for Article 2. Non-discrimination and civil rights. Article 2 details non-discrimination mandates and ties federal civil rights laws directly into the enforceable grievance procedure. Section 1. Statement of Principle. Protected categories. Neither USPS nor NLC may discriminate against any employee based on race, color, creed, religion, national origin, sex, age, or marital status, physical or mental disability, union membership or non-membership, protecting carrier rights under Section 7 of the National Labor Relations Act. Section 2. Reasonable Accommodation and Rehabilitation Act. Federal alignment incorporates the statutory protections of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Mandate. Management must provide reasonable accommodations to qualified employees with known physical or mental disabilities, provided the accommodation does not impose an undue hardship on postal operations. Light/limited duty integration intersects with Article 13 light duty and OWCPFECA rules, limited duty for on-the-job injuries. Section 3. Grievance procedure for discrimination. Expedited filing. Because civil rights violations are time-sensitive, grievances alleging a violation of Article 2 do not follow the standard Step 1 starting point. Filing level, they may be filed directly at formal Step A or Step 2 depending on local structure, within 14 days of the date the employee or union first learned of the alleged act. EEO choice, an employee alleging illegal discrimination can file both an internal contract grievance and an external EEO complaint. They are separate legal avenues and do not preclude one another. Now Article 3. This is about management rights. Article 3 outlines the broad operational authority given to USPS management, while strictly limiting that power through the rest of the contract. Core management powers, subsections A through F. Subject to contract provisions and federal law, USPS management retains the exclusive right to A. Direct employees, assign work, route structures, and direct carrier daily duties. B. Hire and discipline, hire, promote, transfer, assign, retain, suspend, demote, or discharge employees, provided discipline is supported by just cause under Article 16. C. Maintain operations, maintain the efficiency of the operations entrusted to the Postal Service. D. Determine methods, determine the methods, means, tools, and personnel by which operations are to be conducted. E. Layoffs/furloughs, relieve employees from duty because of lack of work or other legitimate reasons, subject to strict Article 6 anti-layoff protections. F. Handle emergencies, take whatever actions are necessary to carry out the postal mission in emergency situations, e.g., adjusting schedules, modifying assignments during acute crisis. The fundamental JCAM rule on Article 3. While management frequently cites Article 3 as a blanket right to issue orders or change working conditions, the JCAM explicitly limits this power. The subject to clause, Article 3 begins with the mandatory phrase, subject to the provisions of this agreement and consistent with applicable laws and regulations. What this means in practice, management cannot use Article 3 to violate other specific sections of the contract. Example, management cannot order a carrier to curtail mail on their own route to create artificial undertime on another route just under the guise of efficiency, because that violates bid assignment rules under Article 41. Example, management cannot mandate daily overtime under the excuse of directing the workforce without first honoring the overtime desired list, ODL, provisions of Article 8. Thank you for listening to Articles 1, 2, and 3 of the JCAM. Please stay safe out there and you work at the pace you feel is safe.